Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Dusty Book Sniffers, and today I am doing something that some of my subscribers have convinced me to do, and that is to read the full long list of the Booker Prize. So let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I prattle on about some of the books that I have read, in particular one book, and the book that I'm going to talk about is The South by Tash Aw. So yeah, I am excited because some of my subscribers have convinced me that it's a good idea to read the entire long list of the Booker Prize, which dropped a couple of weeks ago at the time of filming this video, and I have until the 23rd of September to get all of them read. Now, there's 13 on the list. I'm not going to go through the entire list now, but I will leave a link down below where you can go and check out the Booker Prize and all the information about it. Now, this will be the first time that I have ever read the entire long list of the Booker Prize. So I know of the Booker Prize, I see the Booker Prize, I talk about some of the books that have been on it, and all that sort of stuff with my friends online, but this is the first year that I'm actually going to be reading the entire long list. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that I do this for the Women's Prize for fiction, and I sometimes cop some flack about how I review things and all the rest of it. Pretty casual. I don't go crazy with, you know, all the things, but I do just tell you how I'm feeling about the book, and it's pure, it's honest, it's to the point, and all the things. So, but this time I've actually written up a little bit of a blurb that I've got off to the side for me to keep me on track and everything. So you'll start to see more of these videos pop out as I start to review them. And if you have also been around for quite a while, you also know that I do a lot of stuff around NetGalley things. And so I actually have several of the books that made the Booker list on my NetGalley. And yes, I'm always behind on my NetGalley. However, I'm endeavouring to catch up if I would just stop requesting things. So anyway, I am going to talk about, now I've already read this book, and I have reviewed it on Goodreads and also on NetGalley, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about it with you today. So, as I said, I was lucky, I do NetGalley quite often, and I was lucky enough to get the audiobook for The South by Tash Aw, and so yeah, so basically, I think you pronounce it or I'm not 100% sure. So I do apologise if I'm butchering the name. I might have to go and watch a few other people that have read it and see how they say it. So yeah, but anyway, I was lucky enough to get the audio arc for this, and so and as I said, I'm always behind, but I did listen to it, and I must say that the and I've just got his name over here, Windson Liong, I think is how you pronounce the narrator's name, did a fabulous job. I could listen to that man talk all day, every day. That his voice is just so soothing. He draws you into the story, and yeah, I really enjoyed the audiobook experience. Now, I would have liked to have read the ebook, or, you know, the physical book, or whatever the case may be, but I didn't get approved for that, but I got approved for this one. So and as I said, the narrator did a fantastic job. So if you know, time poor or anything like that, go grab it. It's great. So, and it's the first time that I've ever read this author as well. So, but now I'm on a hunt to get all of the other, all of the other things that I need to get from this particular author, because I just love their storytelling. Their writing is just sublime. I just had a great time with this book. All right, so a quick overview of what the book is about. We first meet Jay in the beginning of the book. He's a 17-year-old boy, and his grandfather has died. They've inherited a farm, and they are travelling south to go to said farm to see if there's anything to salvage, with the proviso that they're going to sell it. Not that they want to, not that the rest of the family wants to, but Jack's father is adamant that they could sell it. And so they get to the farm, and they quickly realize how bad the farm actually is. After months of drought, the trees are diseased, the farm is in sort of disrepair, and Fong has been trying to do the best he can. He's the farm manager, and he also has a son, Chuan. Chuan, I think is how you pronounce anyway, I'm terrible at names, but he has a 19-year-old son who helps him out, but he also works off the farm as well. So basically, and then we've got the other family members that have travelled as well, and they've got things going on, and slowly as we go throughout the book, we learn more and more about them. So they've gone there with the intention of trying to put some life back into the farm so they can then sell it. And basically, that was like, I thought when I read that, I'm like, okay, this is sort of going to be a little bit of a slice of life, and we're going to get to know these characters a lot more. And that is exactly what this book did for me. We basically are looking at each of the characters. We've got, and the relationships between parents and children, and also sibling relationships as well in this book. And the main sibling relationship we have a real good look at is of Jack and Fong's relationship. Fong is his half brother, and basically Jack thinks he's better than Fong. That was my initial, like, my impression of Jack. He just thinks he's better than everybody else, and also he's quick to sort of lay blame on Fong for the farm, you know, being in decline, when in actual fact there's been extenuating circumstances due to environmental issues and stuff surrounding that drought. And then we've also got Jay's mother, who is, you know, complacent in her marriage in a way. She just lets everything slide when it comes to Jack, and, you know, she gets upset and all the rest of it, but she keeps it very much to herself. And one of her daughters is very much in a similar personality. Then we've got another daughter who's quite rebellious in a way, and trying to find her own place in the world as well. But the main story is about Jay and Chuan and their relationship and how it develops. So Jack is trying to teach his son a sort of a lesson here, a life lesson, and throws him into the deep end, not knowing anything about farming or anything like that. Tells him to go out and work the land with the farm manager's son, Chuan, and their relationship sort of starts off a little bit rocky. There's 2 years between them, and then it slowly but surely starts to build. And when I say slowly but surely, it is slowly but surely. And they get to know each other a little bit better, and Chuan starts to notice things about Jay, of how hardworking he is and how he takes things upon himself, as well as in a personal social setting as well. They're also getting to know each other. So it was a nice slow-paced book in getting to know these characters, and then every now and again we get this little bit that gets thrown in about the other characters, the other family members, and everything in the book. And just talking about Jay's mum, like, she's not like a forefront character, but she's there, and those little subtle things that Tash Aw puts into the book about her being, you know, just going with the status quo, and you know, just being happy with how things are, and, well, not actually being happy, but just settling for how things are, because that's how things have been done in the past. Also, the fact that she also has the added fact that Jack's family doesn't really appreciate her, because she was just a farming girl after all, and all of these little things start coming up. There's a little bit of talk about societal norms as well within their family that was just accepted, and around having a mistress and stuff like that. There was a little bit of talk of that. There wasn't a lot. There was just a little bit of talk, which I found very interesting. And I thought, oh, I don't know how I'd handle that, you know. So yeah. So and then we've also got the setting of the book. So we're in the Malaysian farming community, like rural Malaysia, and we've got that whole setting there where that in itself almost feels like a character, because they're working the land. We're talking about the how the drought's going and the disease and all that. It's not a highlighted part of the book, but it definitely has that sense of it is also a character in itself. So, and when I say that the farm isn't a character itself, you know, we've got this rundown, hard to manage, trying to survive, all these things happening on the farm. And this is also being reflected in the family as well. So we've also got those themes happening with the family. Overall, the themes in this book are identity, which is probably the biggest one, how we see ourselves and how others see ourselves, and how it also, how family and culture shapes our lives going forward as we come into, you know, adulthood and things like that. And yeah, so I found that really interesting. Like, this is not a very long book in the terms of, you know, novels that I've read in the past about, you know, coming of age and family and all that sort of stuff, and culture and everything. So this was really packing a punch for me, and I really enjoyed it. And as I said, the narrator really brought this story to life for me. And so, yeah, so I, like, at first it took me a little while to get into the book, and it probably took a couple of chapters, but once I settled in, I was just so drawn into the book and the storytelling and the way it was written, and just I really, really, really enjoyed the characters and getting to know them. And if anybody knows my reading taste, coming of age books are generally not my jam, so this was quite interesting that I enjoyed it so much. So we're off to a good start for the Booker Longlist, and so, but what spun me out as I was reading it, and I did not know anything really about this book when I went into it and when I requested it. I heard a few people talk about it, and I thought, well, that'll be one that I wouldn't mind to look at. And then I read I think the first paragraph on NetGalley, and I'm just like, you know what, that actually sounds like something that I would enjoy, even though it was and it said it was a coming of age. So that's why I requested it. And I'm so glad that I did, because this is just phenomenal. But what I didn't know is that it is going to be 4 books. That's the one thing that I didn't know. So yeah, so now I have just inadvertently started a new series, but I'm excited to see where the story goes and where the characters go and how they develop and how the relationships develop and how the family is going to, you know, deal with everything that is going on surrounding this farm. As I said, the farm itself is the backdrop for this story, but it's also reflecting what's going on in the family as well. So you've got that correlation of both the characters and also the setting, and I just really love that. And being my first book by Tash Aw, I am thrilled to have discovered a new author and to read more from this author. And I've been on the hunt for their back catalogue, and I'm keeping an eye out in libraries and all of that sort of stuff to see if I can get them. Hopefully some of the narration is done by, and let me just find his name again. What was it? It was Windson Liong, I think is how you pronounce the name of the narrator. Fabulous job, absolutely top notch. Now, you might be wondering what I've given this. Now, I have given the story overall 4 stars, and I have actually given the narration of it a 5-star rating because it was top notch. I guess, like, and that's fairly subjective as well, because it depends on what sort of voice you like to listen to and all that sort of thing. So I really did. There is a strong accent by this narrator, so just know that if you struggle with accents, then you may have a little bit of problem with this. I sort of listened to this at 1.75, and then I went up to 2 times speed. That's what I listen to all my books at generally. And when I started out, I was at a little bit slower. And as I've talked about this on my sprints and everything, when I review an audiobook for NetGalley or any other platform, I generally started off pretty slow. So I started this one off at 1.25, and I do find, so when I'm saying that I find the voice soothing and all that sort of stuff and whatnot, I'm actually talking about at that lower speed, but then I slowly speed it up and get to what my comfort speed is, which is usually between 175 and 2 times speed, depending on the narrator. Some narrators talk a little bit faster, so I have to slow it down a little bit more, but did a fabulous job, absolutely loved it, drew me into the story, brought the characters to life. You could feel the tension between Jack and Fong. You could feel the emotion coming from the daughters, the rebellious one, the one that's just going with the status quo, a bit like her mother. And you could definitely feel the bond developing between the main characters, which is Jay and Chuan. So, yeah, and if you like sort of family sagas, coming of age stories, or anything like that, then you're definitely going to really enjoy this book as much as I did. It's very much character driven as well, so just be aware of that. If you don't like character driven books and you prefer more plot, then like setting and all that sort of stuff, then this may be not for you, but give it a go. I just found Tash Aw's writing to be really beautiful, and I was talking to my bestie Coda, and because he also got approved for the ARC as well, and is also listening to it, and we both sort of feel like this was on par with Once on Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, I think it is, by Ocean Vuong. So it was sort of on par with that. Although Ocean Vuong was probably in my mind is a little bit more lyrical and poetic and whatnot, but they're very, very close. So I think if you like Ocean Vuong, then you'll definitely like Tash Aw as well. So I'm so glad that my subscribers have challenged me to read the entire long list. I am going to endeavour to do the best I can. I still have a couple more on my NetGalley to get to. I have One Boat, and I also have Flesh as well, which also made the book a long list. So wish me luck in my endeavour. Keep an eye out for more videos coming. I'm just going to be doing individual reviews on them because I'm not reading them as rapid fire. I'm hoping to have them all done by the 23rd of September. So I've got 4 weeks to go, and I have 12 books to read. So wish me luck, and the best way to keep up to date with all my thoughts and everything on the books is to subscribe to the channel and hit all notifications, and also jump over to the like button and give me a thumbs up as well. And while you're there, leave me a comment and let me know, have you read this book, and what were your thoughts, and did you read the ebook or did you read the audiobook? Because I would love to know that as well. All right, that is it for me today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this new series, reading the book long list. I don't know how I'm going to go because I haven't done it before, so we'll see how we go. But thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and as always, keep turning those pages, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.